$15,000 minimum. That's the real number to relocate to a safer state if you're queer. And if your situation's complex, you're looking at $30,000 to $50,000. Not what Google tells you. Not what basic moving calculators say. The actual number that people in our community are spending to escape. I'm going to show you the 3 expense categories nobody warns you about. The one cost that shocked me when I was researching this, and I'll prove to you why that $5,000 moving budget you're planning is going to leave you stranded halfway to safety. Here's what's happening right now. 9% of transgender adults have already moved to a different state since November 2024 because of anti-LGBTQ laws. Another 48% are seriously considering it. That's almost half. And when you're watching your state ban your healthcare, restrict your existence, make it illegal to even use a public bathroom safely, the question stops being if you should move. It becomes, how do you actually afford it? But here's the problem. When you Google moving costs, you get generic answers. $1,500 for a truck, few hundred for boxes, maybe gas and hotels. Add it up, about $4,000. Done, right? Wrong. Because those calculators don't know you're not just moving for a bigger apartment or a new job. You're moving for survival. And that changes everything about your budget. Most people think, save up $5,000, rent a U-Haul, I'm good. That's exactly what I thought when I started this research. Then I talked to actual people who've done this. Trans folks who've relocated, gay couples who've left hostile states, people who abandoned everything to start over. And I realized the real number is double, sometimes triple. Why? 3 words. The safety premium. The safety premium is what LGBTQ plus people pay that straight cisgender people don't. It's the hidden tax on our existence. And once you see these 3 categories, you'll understand why your budget needs to be way higher than you planned. Category 1. The stuff you can budget for, but probably underestimated. Moving truck cross-country. $1,500 to $3,000 depending on distance. Packing supplies. $200 to $500. Gas, hotels along the way. Okay, that tracks with Google, right? But here's what shocks everyone. Double rent. Think about it. You can't teleport from Florida to Colorado. You need your old apartment while you're moving out, and your new apartment before you move in. That overlap? At least 1 month. Sometimes 2 if you're flying back and forth to apartment hunt. That's an extra $1,000 to $2,500 most people completely forget to budget. Then, security deposit and first month's rent in your new place. Another $2,000 to $4,000 up front before you even move in. And if you're moving to an actually safer city, Seattle, Portland, Denver, parts of California or New York, rent's 20 to 40% higher than where you're leaving. So your monthly costs just jumped permanently. We're already at $8,000 to $12,000, and we haven't even touched the expensive part. That's just the money you can Google. Category 2 is where it gets brutal. Category 2, the safety premium. Costs only we pay. This is the stuff that only affects LGBTQ plus people, and it's expensive in ways you literally cannot Google. First, legal document updates. If you're trans and you've legally changed your name and gender marker, congratulations! You now get to update everything across state lines. New driver's license in your new state? $25 to $50. New birth certificate, if your state even allows it? $50 to $150, and you might have to order it from your birth state. Updated passport with correct name and gender? $130. Individually? Not terrible. But the real cost is time. We're talking weeks, sometimes months of bureaucratic hell. DMV lines, mailing forms, tracking down notaries, taking time off work, and if one document doesn't match another, start over. Second, healthcare reestablishment. This one makes me angry. You're leaving your doctors, your pharmacy, your entire medical network. If you're on HRT, you need a new provider immediately. You can't skip doses. If you're mid-transition with surgery scheduled, you're either delaying or dealing with massive logistical nightmare to coordinate care across states. And here's what's criminal. Most insurance plans have waiting periods for new procedures when you switch states or employers. You might be paying out of pocket for 3 to 6 months until your new insurance fully kicks in. If you're spending $200 a month on HRT, that's $1,200 to $2,400 you need saved. Not optional. Life-sustaining medication. Third cost, and this is the one that hurts most. You're paying to leave your chosen family, the queer community you built over years, the friends who held you when your bio family rejected you, the people who've been your actual family. You can't put a dollar amount on that loss, but you can price the consequences. Extra therapy because you're isolated and starting over. $150 to $300 a month. Flights back to visit the people you left. $300 to $600 per trip. And you'll do that 2 to 4 times the first year because the loneliness is crushing. I talked to a gay man, 42, moved from North Carolina to Massachusetts. He spent almost $4,000 his first year just trying not to be completely alone. Gay kickball league, bar trivia every week to meet people, a therapist who specialized in LGBTQ relocation trauma. $4,000 to have friends! That's your safety premium. Now, here's category 3, and this is the one that made me question whether I should even be encouraging people to move. Category 3. What you lose. Opportunity cost. Economists speak for what you give up. First, income. If you relocate without a job lined up, which is super common because you can't interview from 1,500 miles away, you could be unemployed 1 to 4 months while you job hunt. If you made $50,000 a year, that's $4,000 to $17,000 in lost income. Can you live on savings for 4 months? Most Americans can't. And don't forget losing employer health insurance. Hello Cobra at $700 a month. Second, property loss. Own a home in Florida or Texas and need to sell fast? Your buyer pool just shrunk because progressive people are fleeing and conservative buyers aren't paying premium. I've seen people lose $20,000 to $40,000 in equity selling under market just to get out. Third, career setbacks. Tech worker. Moved from Austin to San Francisco for safety. Got a new job, but had to start at a junior level because they couldn't transfer their specific industry connections. Took a $15,000 annual hit the first 2 years while rebuilding their network and reputation. Was it worth it? Yes, they can exist safely now, but it's a real cost. Here's the bottom line. When you add up the obvious moving costs, the safety premium, and the opportunity costs, what's the real number? Based on 15 actual relocation budgets from people in our community, minimum escape budget, $8,000 to $12,000. That's if you're young, single, renting, minimal belongings, job already lined up. Realistic middle-class budget, $15,000 to $25,000. Car, furniture, maybe a pet, you're a couple, need 1 to 2 months of runway. Complex situation budget, $30,000 to $50,000. You own a home, you have kids, you're mid-transition with healthcare complexity, or you're over 40 rebuilding an established career. I know that number just made your stomach drop. But before you close this video thinking, I'll never afford that, I'm going to give you 3 strategies that cut these costs in half. Strategy 1. The staged move. Don't try to move your entire life at once. Take what fits in your car. Drive to your new city. Crash with friends. Use Airbnb month to month. Live there 2 to 3 months while you find a job and scope out neighborhoods. Then, once you're employed and found the right place, you either fly back and pack up or hire movers. You're paying for temporary housing, but you're not paying double rent, and you're not locked into a year lease in a neighborhood you hate. This cuts upfront costs 30 to 40%. Strategy 2. Leverage community resources. There are actual LGBTQ relocation funds and mutual aid networks. When you get a job offer, before you say yes, ask, what relocation support can you offer? I've seen people negotiate $5,000 to $15,000 just by asking. Worst case, they say no. Best case, your employer pays for your escape. Strategy 3. The Freedom Fund. If you can't move right now, and that's okay, start a separate savings account. Call it your Freedom Fund. Automatic transfers. Even $100 a month. In 12 months, you'll have $1,200. In 24 months, you're halfway to freedom. And here's the psychology. Just knowing you're building your exit plan makes living in a hostile state more bearable. You're not trapped, you're strategic. I know this is heavy. It's not fair we have to budget escapes while other people just exist wherever they want. But knowledge is power. If you're not personally planning to move, but you know someone who is, send them this video. The worst financial mistake is trying to escape with half the money you need and getting stuck. Want more LGBTQ money content that doesn't sugarcoat reality? Hit subscribe. I post every week. Wherever you are right now, you deserve to feel safe. Let's make it happen.